What do you think you'll be like? Because you work at the office, right?
Yeah.
And we're colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
What will you lose?
You guys from the office.
And we are amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at
Yeah,
it.
of course.
No, my point is, what do you feel that on a personal level, because you say you guys,
Yeah.
but like we aren't amazing. We're not something that we contribute to your life in a very quantifiable
No,
way.
but I mean, yeah, I consider you as my friends. And when we have the free time at the office or when we have breaks or lunchtime, I value these moments with you. And sometimes I miss them. For example, since we moved offices, we don't have that much of quality time anymore. I think everyone is in their own box and working their own stuff. And I really like it because I feel that the topics we open and the things we discuss, they grow me as a person. I've seen a huge difference like since coming to Talent Hacks, just from our like talks and small breaks and ideas and thoughts and everything. So just like having a small lunch break, even though it's just we have lunch and we go back to our offices, they give me that validation and that safety and the feeling that I'm growing inside a team and as a person. So if I would be working from home, I think I'd miss a lot of like a lot.
That's really interesting. There's an interesting angle here in that you're, first of all, let it be said that I think me and Alex here are about 10 years older than you. Okay, so that's significant in the sense that probably our male egos will stop us from learning anything from you. I mean, we will learn to the extent that we can, but I think you understand what I mean in that, like she's 10 years older, younger than us, so it's more likely that we're going to teach her something than she is to teach us something. But then here we are doing this podcast being your idea. So again, nothing to be black or white about, but just saying that for the less trained, for the less experienced employee, it kind of sounds like there's an informal grooming happening just from being exposed to certain people. If anything, I read your microculture article that you wrote, and yeah, if it kind of indicates that there's this growth that's been happening, which would be impossible with remote working.
I guess, yeah. Like, how would you keep this microculture just remotely? Because if I think like the way we work at Talent Hacks, and Alex said a few days ago, we don't necessarily share the same projects. Like you do your own stuff, I do my own stuff, Alex does his own stuff and everything. Everyone has their own things to do. So imagine working remotely. I don't think we'd have a lot of like communication or anything. And how would we even like open a chat or a joke or say something if we just like use WhatsApp or like another form of communication?
Yeah, and how can we make each other laugh? I'm not trying to say that laughter is absolutely necessary, but I definitely identify humor as one of the sort of tying elements, something the uniting elements of this team, and that we all use humor to kind of bond, right? Because it makes serious things a little bit less serious, and so we can handle them, things like that. But what's interesting, as you were saying it, I was thinking it. My wife said something to me the other day where she went, do you know that you're being a little teachy with me? I'm like, what? Like coachy? And I went, what do you mean? Could you stop bringing work mode home? And I took a minute, like I paused and I was kind of like, I hear you. Like I'm not rejecting what you're saying. I hear this, and I'm really evaluating what I'm doing right now. And I reflected on the conversation. And indeed, I was being a little bit more coachy per se, but it wasn't, if I could put this out there, I wasn't being the guy I am when I coach clients, when we do that part of the job. I was being the guy I am when I'm around you guys. And it's really a critical mindset where you're continuously pushing something because there might be something there. And there's no lazy thinking in this office. So there's no question or answer that isn't followed up with another question. Okay, so what can we do about that? And then where does that go? And what does that mean? And where is that from? All of that is a state of mind that I have to usually snap out of when I do go home. However, what she brought up was even more interesting for me in that she kind of identified that I have the need for those things. The day that she said that to me, you two, as well as Dino, didn't come to the office. The reality was that he was sick, you were away, I think you came, but afterwards, and we just didn't socialize. And so I spent the whole day in my office doing my work. Buddy was in his office doing his work. It was a very isolated day. And I go home, and without knowing it, I shift back into this mindset. And I'm trying to have that type of conversation with my wife. And it took her like 5 minutes to just get annoyed with me.
Yeah. I have the same exactly thing at home. Like I finish work and I'm so excited. For example, we open something here in the office and I just want to share it with my fiance. And then I think sometimes he just gets bored of me because maybe the topics that we discuss here at the office, maybe he doesn't care or he doesn't even know about them. For example, I told you, was it earlier today? For example, the Chat GPT and the AI thing that we do at the office. We have been working a long time with that and we have like the same communication speech and we talk the same way because we know that topic. And when I try to explain it, what happened yesterday at the office with Paris, and look what the AI did, he couldn't even understand what was going on. Like, what is that? And then I realized, like, wow, we are in totally different
Was he
levels.
interested?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
And he didn't even like. I was showing him a website that the AI did, and he couldn't even understand what had happened in that. He just was completely out of it, and he didn't even care that much, and he didn't even understand the level that I was on. So sometimes it feels a bit frustrating when I leave from the office and I feel like I'm so proud of what we are doing and I'm so excited and I think like I get so much knowledge and then you go home and you're like, oh, you can't discuss it with someone else. But then it's nice to come the next day at the office and just think like, oh yes, Taz or Alex is going to be here and I'm really excited to share what happened to me today or yesterday because I know that I'm going to have like a quality talk and they'll listen to me and they'll understand my point.
Right.
Yeah.
As compared to boring your spouse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that hurt me more. She looked bored
Yeah.
of the things that I choose to talk about. And she goes, really? Can't we just whatever, something? And no, all respect. Like, obviously, it needs to be identified from me as my need. I need brains around me that can have certain types of conversations.
Yeah.
I could never accomplish that with remote working.